Okay.
So
Okay.
you walk into somebody's apartment
Mm-hmm.
at the end of the day. You walk in, you open it up,
Okay.
and their bed is in the middle of the room,
Okay.
facing the window. Is
Okay.
that a red flag? Do you say something? Do you go, I need to get out of here? Or do you look past it? Think,
Absolutely a red flag. Here's the thing. It's a little like serial killer-esque.
that's what I thought, American Psycho.
It's on the verge of serial killer and Andrew Huberman.
You have to figure out, is he optimizing his health or is he getting in my
Exactly.
skin?
Because if he's like, but honestly, if you're that into it, where you're like, I have to put my bed in the middle of the room, one, I'm definitely going to say something.
Yeah.
Like, if I walked in, I'd be like, what the fuck is this? Because that's just too confusing. I'd definitely make fun of them a little bit. And then I'd be like, okay, what's their explanation? If the explanation is like, honestly, what would be a good explanation for that?
It's so off-putting to see a bed not touching a wall.
Oh, yeah.
It's like seeing a dock out in the middle of the lake
Well,
that's just broken off from the shore.
what would be a good explanation for it? Because I'm trying to think of like if
The explanation would be I just built it 2 seconds ago and I haven't been
fair.
able to put it where I need to put it.
No, that's literally the only explanation because I'm trying to think if there's any other explanation that wouldn't be an immediate turnoff slash safety hazard.
I wouldn't even know how to bring it up because you, if he is a
Oh, you
psycho,
just bring it. Yeah, well, at that point, knowing me, I would be like, okay, why is your bed in the middle of the room?
and then you hear a click, and you're like, oh,
And I gotta get out of here. Guess I'm
I'm
jumping out
going
the
right through.
window.
Look out the window at 3 stories. I can survive that. That's fine.
Yeah, no, that's super weird. Also, like just space optimization wise, that's horrible. Because also, what's the rest? Where do they put the rest of their stuff?
Well, it sounds like he didn't have any room. It's not as bad
It's
as it
either
is a
they
studio.
have. It's still pretty bad if it's a studio though, because with a studio, you only have so much space and you got to optimize it. If you're in a studio and you're like, ah, yes, to optimize my space, I need to put my bed in the middle of the room. Also, can you imagine like you're dating someone or you just go to hook up with someone and their bed's in the middle of the room and say you don't flag it as a red flag and then you sleep over and you wake up in the middle of the room. That feels weird. You can walk around the backside of the bed.
You can get off
You
any
can get off at
all
any
four
exit.
sides.
It, yeah, that would yeah,
You would
again.
have to you wake up in the middle of the night. You'd have to get out of bed,
Uh
walk around the back side of the bed
yeah.
to go to the bathroom, use the
Yeah.
bathroom, and then come out and walk back around.
That's or you could yeah, that's just you can't there's no good explanation for it. If your bed's not against a wall, you are a psychopath. And I think that's the
Absolutely.
conclusion.
Absolutely. You bring up a great point. I feel like there is at the very extreme a very thin line between just optimizing health and
Yeah,
a sociopath.
exactly.
Like American Psycho, Andrew Huber, it's a very thin line at the very end because you remember that scene in American Psycho where he peels the face mask off?
I've never seen that movie and I don't plan on it, but I get the
There's the
gist.
scene where he's like I don't, he's got some beauty mask or whatever on, and
Ew.
he peels it off himself like skin.
Ew.
But you see this all the time on Instagram. It
Oh,
very easily could be he could be optimizing his health
right. That's
very
fair.
easily.
Uh,
It's but
I,
the
I
key to look
guess,
for is the bed in the middle of the room
yeah.
because at
Yeah,
that
yeah,
point
yeah. If there's, because now I'm thinking, like, depending on the layout, if you have an empty wall that's facing a window, then sure, put your bed up against that. But
sure
otherwise, I think that almost might be too much optimization.
it's so optimized it's not optimized.
Yeah.
The bell curve of optimization.
And then at what point is it like, okay, the comfort and space efficiency of your apartment versus health optimization, okay? For like maybe
Yeah.
slightly more direct sunlight than if your
Firstly,
bed was
how can you say
perpendicular.
you're optimizing the health of your apartment when you're in a studio apartment and your bathroom is 100 feet from your kitchen? You're telling me that as a man, you're home
Uh,
alone, right?
uh,
Do you close the bathroom door to use the bathroom if it's just you? Like you're not going to do that every single time. You
what does this
go,
have to do with
flush,
optimization?
you flush,
Yeah.
seats up. You're
Uh,
telling me those particles don't can't travel 100 feet in a confined in space to get to your pans or something?
well, that's fair. That's why you're not supposed to put your toothbrush too close to the toilet.
That is true. I saw a video of it was showing like all like when you flush all the particles just going
Oh yeah.
like
Oh
that.
yeah.
It freaked that did a number on me.
Yeah.
I have to lower because I see the splooge
Well, now
of
you just
bacteria
close the toilet seat.
that contains it for sure.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But
Absolutely.
yeah, it is kind of weird having your kitchen that close to your bathroom, I guess.
It is weird that the toilet is so like there's really no good place to put the toilet.
In
Like
are we talking about this a specific apartment layout?
any apartment layout.
Well, the bathroom.
Well,
You
but
put
the
a
thing is,
door.
yeah, but in the bathroom, like you said, your toothbrush is in there, your medications are in there.
I guess that's fair.
Like it's gonna have to be next to something. And the
I
other option is to put it outside, but
right,
that's
which
not great either.
no, that's gross too. Right, like do you just keep your toothbrush outside?
I think that's what we've decided as a culture. Like that's what we're okay with it, getting a little bit on the toothbrush and a little bit in the meds.
Have you ever seen Brooklyn Nine-Nine?
I have.
I'm watching that right now for the first time. And in season 1, Jake is looking for a new apartment and he can't afford a lot. Then they walk into one apartment and the toilet's right in the middle of the apartment with nothing else. And honestly, that would still be a disgusting place to put your toilet. But is it any worse than having your toothbrush right next to the toilet?
Or a bed. Would you rather the bed or the toilet be in the middle of the apartment? Because it's got to be something's got to be in the middle of the apartment. We got to put
Well,
something here.
yeah, I mean, I'd obviously say the bed. I'm not pooping in the bed.
Well, okay. Would you rather? Here's the question: would you rather get out of the bed in the middle of the room, walk around the back to the toilet in the bathroom, or
Okay.
would you rather get out of bed off the wall, but
Okay.
then you have to go sit in the middle of the room and poop?
I think that's an obvious answer. I'd definitely rather go to the bathroom. I don't want to be looking at my bed while I'm pooping.
No,
That feels sacrilegious.
I don't want to be looking at anything. Honestly, like I feel even in big bathrooms,
Uh-huh.
you don't want too much. Like you kind of do want it to be a confined space.
Yeah. Do you want to be facing the shower?
Not if somebody's in there. Not if someone's in
Why?
there. Definitely not. Because the last thing I want to see if I'm sitting down to use the toilet is like the fog of war and like a body's general outline and then butt cheeks just hit the glass.
I don't know who's taking a shower by themselves and their butt
Oh,
cheeks just hit the glass.
if you're a if you're a couple, I
Well,
mean,
yeah, but that's different though.
I still don't want to see it. I feel like the
Well, one,
last thing
if
you
you're
want to
a
combine is
couple, if you're a couple and you're taking a shower and you have a third person in your apartment that needs to use the bathroom, one, who's the third person and why are they in the bathroom? And then at that point, it's like sounds like someone needs to do at least two people need to be out of the shower at that point.
like if you have that much steam and heat, the last thing you want to combine it with is a dookie. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Well,
There's
yeah.
I don't even want to start the shower, have the shower be getting warmed up, use the bathroom, flush the toilet, have
Oh,
that
really?
enter into the atmosphere of the room, and then
Oh,
have to get into the shower because
I've
I'm
never
not
thought
cleaning
about
myself.
that.
I'm not cleaning myself. I'm just getting wet dookie particles on me. I'm
No,
getting
because hot air rises, and as long as you get out of the shower before it cools down,
what?
none of the
What?
because hot air rises,
So the
so the
dookie
dookie
goes to the
particles goes
ceiling.
up. And as long as you get out of the bathroom before the shower fully cools down and all the particles settle to the ground again because cold air sinks,
You're on
then
the
you're
clock.
safe.
You just got you got to keep the shower running so you have time to like do what you need to do.
Yeah, that's fair. Or just turn the fan on, although that doesn't help much. Honestly, there's no good way. There's no good way. Honestly, you close the toilet seat after you
Yeah.
go to the bathroom.
Rule number one.
Rule number one, don't put your bed in the middle of the room and
Rule
don't
number
put your
two.
toilet in the middle of the living room either.
I feel like these are low bars, and the fact that there are people out there, even within our family, that aren't meeting them
Yes.
is very concerning.
Yes. And
Would you say,
again, it's a very fine line between health optimization and people being like, "Oh, this is for my health," versus
yeah.
you being a psychopath.
Oh, there was a thing, there was a supplement that came out that there was a lot of good evidence that it was very helpful for people
Okay.
across the board.
Uh-huh.
And it was called Trulacta.
What is it called?
Trulacta is the name of it.
True lacta.
TRU lacta. And
Okay.
they were like, it's human derived something or other, like compounds, or right,
Okay.
whatever it's called. It's essentially what they did is they took mom's breast milk that was like left over and
Sure.
they synthesized it into a pill. So
Sure.
you're getting some random lady's breast milk, and
Okay.
that's what you're supplementing with.
Okay.
And they on the website, as you read through, they go out of their way to say to like phrase it in any other way other than this is breast milk that you're taking.
Uh-huh.
And it
Can
apparently
you imagine? Wait, have
works
you
very well.
have you
But
have you ever gotten uh the like really fancy eggs at the grocery store?
oh yeah, like the soy free, pasture
No, no,
raised, whatever
no.
ones.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But the ones that highlight like a hen of the month.
Oh, Pete and Jerry's. I love those.
Can you imagine if they did that with those pills, but like with the specific whose ever breast milk it was? They'd be like, Helen really pulled through this month.
And
Had
it's
a
this same
had an
picture.
excess supply. It's just like a headshot.
They photograph her just like the chicken, just like they get her going about her day.
It's just a candid.
She's like, like trying to open the door to her apartment.
That would be so funny. Instead of like a hen of the month, they just had like a woman of the month that they
They can
put.
still call it the hen of the month.
That honestly, I think that would raise a lot of red flags.
Like, listen, I'm taking somebody's breast milk. This is the least of our problems.
Yeah,
How do you?
absolutely. That's
Oh yeah.
would
How do you
you
go to somebody? You tell them that at the doctor's. Are you taking any supplements? Yes. What are
Yes.
they? I don't want to tell
In fact, I am. Thanks for asking. I
you.
don't, yeah, I definitely wouldn't. Well, yeah, I don't think many people probably. But did you say they were sold on the black market?
No, but
Oh,
I'm sure they are.
they're
They
like,
sell
but
everything
they're not
there.
FDA approved, obviously.
Well, I mean, it's a supplement,
Yeah,
so they don't have to. They don't.
right.
They can just sell it.
But like, what do you think the market is for that?
Honestly, it worked. According to the study, it worked really well for people with gut health issues
Fair.
and immune system issues. Because you got to think like that is how your immune system gets built to
Right.
start.
That's what breast milk is for babies.
Right. So in people that were having a lot of issues with that stuff, it was a good reset for that. Whether or not it works long term is another thing. And
Fair.
like you're not getting it in the same way. And it's also not your mom.
Yeah.
Like you've decided now at 25, you're going to supplement breastfeed of another random woman who's not your mother,
Right.
who who knows who she is. It's
Right.
well, it is somebody else's mom. Like it's a woman who's actively trying to feed her child who had extra, and you're like, I'll take that. I have some.
Yeah.
I got some bloated.
But how do they control for like the woman's environmental factors?
These are
Do
great
they?
questions that the FDA would ask
Hmm.
hypothetically if they were involved in the process.
Fair. That's fair.
I would assume there is some sort of site, like the site looks official enough where you're like,
Yeah,
okay,
sure.
this is definitely a company,
Yeah.
but I'm sure they have like it was. I would assume it's a similar process to stem cells that they're harvesting from a hospital and they're like quality controlling. Like I would assume they're testing it for like bacteria, infections, that sort of thing. If you,
Sure, that makes sense.
if you're, have other issues, I'm sure they're
Yeah,
not
that's
selling that.
wild.
But the conundrum becomes at what
Is it
point
ethical?
is it ethical, but also at what point if it does heal things, like if they told you all of your gut problems would be fixed in 6 months, but you got to take this,
Okay.
you got to go, it's weird, but my problems would be fixed
For the rest of your life, though.
if that was the case for the rest of your life. But yeah, like if you mess it up again, then you just can retake it. But like for the foreseeable future, your all your gut problems will be fixed, but you do have to supplement this lady's Ellen's breast milk.
If it was guaranteed and her name was Ellen, sure.
That you would want to meet her. I need to read it. It's like a sperm donor. I need to read it with this
Yeah,
person.
that's also true. I feel like I would need to meet her because I don't. I mean, it's the other thing where it's like nature versus nurture. Does she have like some? Is she a psychopath? She
Am
just
I
has
gonna
excess breast milk.
we're gonna you start taking in a couple months and you're like, bed in the middle of the room is not a bad idea.
The bed in the middle of the room is actually pretty smart.
Starting to make a
They,
lot of sense.
yeah, I'd have to know the person.
Apparently people do
But
change
then,
after
yeah,
fecal
but then
transplant.
also, if you know the person, does that make it worse?
Would you want to know the person?
Yeah.
How well is it a bell curve of like, I know them, okay, that's fine. Girl, I went to college, we were friends, versus like this is my best friend.
No, I don't think I'd want any of that. I
You
think
don't want
it's
you
either
don't
like
want to know at
someone
all.
I passed on the street once, or like maybe had one conversation with, and I was like, sure, I don't have any questions following that conversation, versus like anyone that I know more than that. No,
What
no.
if she's what if she's like what if she's like from prison or something? Like she's donating in prison.
Good for her. I hope she's building her life back, and I hope that if that's a program that
Women's breast.
if that's a program that helps get people back on their feet and rehabilitated, that's awesome and that's great.
Your options are hard labor, fixing people
It also
license
feels
plates for
very
their car.
unethical if they're like forced to do it.
I don't think you can. Well, the thing is like I
If you
think it is an ex.
can.
Well, you could, but oh, that's the thing. But there's also a lot of like scientific discoveries we've made that were like the ethics are tough, but we did
Well,
the Stanford
sure.
the Stanford experiment.
I don't know if that necessarily, I mean, sure, positive things can come out of something like that, but the way that
Right.
the means may not justify the end.
We did learn a lot about people and their tendency to want to take control, but we did psychologically damage a half dozen people
Exactly.
permanently.
Exactly.
These are the things we have to weigh.
I mean, ethics, it's a complicated thing. Everyone should be taking an ethics class.
I was an ethics facilitator in high school. I taught ethics to freshmen
Are
coming
you
in.
serious?
Oh yeah, I had to do a full training on it.
What did you
I
teach
taught
them?
well,
Don't do a Stanford prison experiment?
that was a key point.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, you're gonna be tempted while you're here. Don't do it. Don't do it. You're gonna be it's gonna be so tempting.
To
Don't do
clarify, you went to a normal high school,
I went to a
correct? It
normal,
wasn't like
semi-private,
it wasn't
former,
like a,
yeah. I
a
didn't go to like I wasn't at like
military school or
no,
something.
normal high school. but a medical ethics class in college.
Mm-hmm.
And this, I guess, is a real thing that happened.
Mm-hmm.
Was someone came in and they were dying, and they
Okay.
were like, "Do we resuscitate them? Do they have a DNR form?" And the person's like, "No, they don't." So they go to resuscitate this person, and they
Okay.
rip off their shirt, and they have tattooed across their chest, "Do not."
Oh,
And so they have to sit there and go, "We don't have time to go get a lawyer.
right.
What is the deal here?" Like,
Right.
obviously, you wouldn't get that tattoo for no reason, but
Sure.
it's not, is it legally binding? And so they
Right.
ended up resuscitating the person.
Uh-huh.
And I believe the person sued and lost, and that the court basically ruled the tattoo was not a legally binding document.
Right.
But in the moment, sweating bullets, because blood
Yeah, I
is the,
feel
like the
like
number one fear for us.
right.
Yeah,
But you still have to, because I don't necessarily know everything about a DNR, but like you do have to sign a document
yeah, you do.
and you get like a little bracelet thing.
Yeah, no, it's like organ donor. Like you have to sign up to do it.
Right. So then, yeah, I'd be like, okay, well, this person, unless I see the document, their chest isn't a legally binding document. Was
Right.
it spelled correctly?
Uh, I think it was.
How
No
bad would it be
regrets.
if it was like, do not rescutate?
Do not reschedule.
Do not reschedule it. And then you'd be like, yeah, this person made a big mistake on this tattoo,
Would
but
have
whatever.
been cheaper to just sign the document.
Yeah, exactly.
The
But
tattoo
yeah,
would be
for that
way more
one,
expensive.
it's like, I mean, they did resuscitate him. So at that point, they're like, look,
Yeah,
he didn't say, like, you can't show this to a lawyer and be like, this man's tattoo is a legally binding document.
right. But
I
the
mean,
lawyer
people
would
have a
say,
bunch of
like, who would get that tattoo if they didn't need
someone that wants to be funny
it? What a joke.
or someone that's drunk and got the tattoo.
That is one. But that in that case, I would say like that's where honestly spelling is a big thing. Is it spelled correctly? Because if it's not, we didn't regurg them.
We didn't regurt them, so
Where
it's
there was
fine.
no regurgitation happened. So what's the problem?
That's great. That's not even a very difficult ethics problem. At that point, it's like, is it legally binding? No. Okay, great. Do we know
Yeah. The thing is
who?
more, it's like the in the moment of like you're under the pressure of you have like
Sure,
seconds to start resuscitating
sure.
and you're seeing it for the first time and you're like, I have no idea.
I mean, I'm
And
not
it
a
just takes,
healthcare professional, so I don't know the
I'm not
stress
either.
of it. But I feel neither of us are medical
We're not having,
professionals.
we're not medical
Preface.
professionals. Consult one before taking true life and resuscitating people.
Yes. Uh,
Essentially, you have to do them both at the same time.
exactly. I I don't know. I feel like I mean, definitely be careful, but always like I would rather err if I was a medical professional in this current exact moment without much training. I would probably err on the side of saving the person as opposed to being like, well, their tattoo says do not resuscitate. So, like, what if they're wearing a shirt that says do not resuscitate? Do you think there are shirts out there on Amazon that people sell?
Oh, they do. They sell, shirts that have like bikini bodies on them for men and
Yeah, that's true.
tuxedos. Like you can get a shirt of almost anything.
That would be horrible. I feel like there needs to be some type of some better regulation, but then that goes into freedom of speech, so I guess not.
I I bought my sister for Christmas a couple years ago pants with her face on them,
Sure.
and they came about 3 weeks late from China,
Uh-huh.
and they were supposed to be white, and they were a orangey hue.
Oh,
And I looked at them and I went, I can see the cancerous chemicals on this.
how do you
Do
know?
not do
You don't
not
think
wear
it
them.
was just dye?
Oh, because there was no orange to dye.
Right, but
Like
what if it was just a mistake?
I don't know what it was. It came 3 weeks late. That's all I know from who knows where. And
Did you donate them?
I don't know what happened to them. Meg has them. A
Oh,
lot of my gifts that I get people are very much like this is a burden for you now.
like John's poster.
Do you know what I did with the cake from the family reunion last week?
No, what'd
The
you
one
do?
that they had for Grampy. They gave Bridget and Sean gave it to me,
Okay,
and I was like, I'll find something to do with it. My
sure.
friend Peter that I was seeing the next day, I gave it to
Right.
him as a
Uh,
belated birthday gift because he
okay.
was having to drive through Maine and then has to fly back to Denver.
Okay.
And I gave him the cake, knowing he's gonna have to take this full cake everywhere, and it's 85 degrees outside.
Mm-hmm.
So he can't just leave it in his car.
Mm-hmm.
So he's gonna have to take the cake. And he didn't think it was, he's like, all right. And then a couple of days later, I got the text. He's like, this was actually an incredible prank because I was just leaving a friend's house and I had to go back in to get the cake.
That is so funny,
And I
but
think
also
he
a
paid it
horrid
off on
burden.
somebody else, I think.
Yeah, I would just give it to someone else at that point.
The
But
cake is just
also,
getting tossed around right
I know that's so sad. You didn't give it to your parents?
now. No,
Oh,
I gave it
you
to
didn't give it to Jack?
Peter. Is a going away gift.
I don't know. Do they eat cake? Put it in the freezer.
I had it in the freezer and then I gave it to Peter. And now he's got the cake and it's all up to him.
You should have donated it to the food bank like we did.
That's actually a great idea, and I'm kind of a little embarrassed that we didn't think of that.
I honestly am a little embarrassed we didn't think of that before either.
Because it's a
Because,
very obvious thing to do.
right, like the amount here's the thing though.
Okay.
We had to make sure that we were getting enough food because there was a lot of it obviously.
Hmm.
Getting enough food out of camp that we could, because again, there were two family-sized tubs of mayonnaise and no one else was coming up for the rest of the season. But we also had to make sure that we weren't taking too much so that she would notice.
Right. That's the game.
And that's the tricky part. But honestly, that should be the game at the end of the summer for all of us.
We
Where
don't
it's
even have
like
to worry about it.
who can toe that line. And
Yeah.
whoever gets her angry, then you have to go to the grocery store with her next.
I wouldn't even attempt it. The risk is too high.
I don't know. I
They
think we pulled it off, except somehow they did run out of butter. And I asked Bridget, I was like, did you donate any of the butter? She was like, no,
we
we just didn't have any butter,
went through all that butter.
which is insane. I don't
How
know
much
what she did with the butter. However, I can probably see one of them, as in Bridget or Sean, because you know how she sometimes has like just like the chunks of butter on the plates
yeah,
that just sit out.
they just chuck it.
I can see them chucking it.
Yeah. That's yeah. It's
So
so
maybe
much
that was it.
it's so much it's so much dairy. Specifically,
Oh
it's so
yeah.
much dairy.
Oh yeah.
And fun fact about dairy is it goes bad immediately.
Oh yeah.
Does not last
The amount
any
of
amount of time.
milk that's up there.
It's
I don't who no one drinks glasses of milk. If anything, they're just like putting a splash in their coffee.
yeah, I was trying to think like, do we know anybody who drinks like well, I don't even couldn't tell you the last time I saw someone have a glass of milk in
I
general.
have. I have.
Who you
I
see
think I saw someone on Hinge.
they were drinking milk?
I think so. It was just a glass of milk. I was like, that's gonna be a negative for me.
It's gonna be an
Look, it can be very beneficial and healthy for you.
yeah.
However, it will make me look 6 months pregnant and be absolutely uncomfortable for about a
You
week.
you go over to their house. The bed is in the middle of the room.
And they
On the
have
bedside table
six
is a big
half
tall
drank.
glass.
No, no, they have six half drank glasses of milk on the bedside table. And
Like,
you have to decide, is it for health or are they a psychopath?
unless you're expecting Santa, there's no reason to
Out
have all of this milk just out and about.
and about, yes.
Out and
I
about.
do know some people drink milk, and that's fine.
It's up to them.
Glasses of milk still kind of weird me out. My friend and I used to have a thing where we were like, that's so disgusting
Mm,
if you just drink glasses of milk. But now
yeah.
she is like, I don't hate it because it can offer a lot of really
Mm.
beneficial things.
Well, it
And I'm
is,
like, that is true. I won't make fun of people that drink glasses of milk anymore. Oh my gosh.
hey, but like,
Wait, what were you going to say?
I mean, it is just breast milk
From a cow?
from a cow, which is somehow, I guess, more acceptable than another person.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Because if you had to go to the store and that big gallon said cow breast milk,
That would make me uncomfortable.
you'd be like, I'm not buying this. But they're
I'd
like,
be
if
like,
we
I
just
don't
take the cow and the breast out of those, people are like, yeah, okay,
milk.
milk.
Well, I once made I once made fun of someone at my old work for drinking drinking milk because we would have milk in like the office fridge for coffee and stuff. And we would get like gallons of milk delivered like a couple times a month. Um
Okay.
and
Are you working in 1964?
no, but like they would do like not grocery deliveries. Basically, they would just have milk delivered. We had a grocery store like 5 minutes away.
The company?
Ah, from our office.
Yeah.
We had a really, really fancy coffee machine that would like froth the milk and everything. Anyway, there was a reason for it.
All right.
And um one I wasn't in the office at this time, but one time they had a a milk delivery, and so there was like a bunch of milk in the fridge that was, I think they had it earlier in the week and it was like gonna expire soon. And so my friend went up to the one guy that drinks a lot of milk and she jokingly said, and like it's not like she knew him well enough to make this joke.
Yeah.
Must have been in a bad mood though, because she was like, all right, you're up. Like, it's your time to shine. We have a bunch of milk. And he got really angry. And he was like, don't make that joke. And she was like, oh my gosh, okay. And then he said, we're not friends. And then he like, I don't know. He basically like went off on her in front of a bunch of people, and it's like, bro, it was a joke about you drinking milk because you literally drink milk.
Only one in the office who's drinking.
Like it was a joke, my dude.
What was this
And
guy's position at the company?
same position as my friend. I
What,
think he left shortly after, but
he couldn't take it. He
I
goes,
guess
I'm
so.
just a milk guy to
I
them. I'm
just
just some
like
dude who drinks
milk. I just like milk, okay? Stop making fun of me for it.
milk. You imagine if he walked into the office the next day and it's a picture of him and it's just the guy milk at his office and he goes, I'm sick of this. I'm leaving.
We just like face photoshopped his face on like a got milk ad. No, he was
I'm more
yeah,
than just milk. I'm
he
crying.
he was very upset about it. And look, I hope he's doing well now. I hope he's still drinking milk, and I hope he doesn't get upset about milk jokes because look, it's
You
not that
know,
serious.
on his Hinge profile, one of his props is do
Dating
not
me
bring up
is
milk.
like dating me is like a large glass of milk.
No. And then girls like it and they ask him about it. And he goes, actually, that doesn't define me.
It's not a joke, okay?
I'm
It's
way
either
more than just that.
they either say he either says it's a joke, okay? Or he says it's actually serious and I'm very serious about milk. I hope he sources his milk now from like a
Oh,
really high quality.
he's drinking it straight from the other.
I hope not. I hope he hasn't turned to unpasteurized milk.
I, listen,
Uh-huh.
listen. What some of my favorite people are the people who are like there was a guy who was talking about eating raw like steaks and pork and chicken and all that sort of thing. And
Is
he
this the
goes,
Liver King guy?
"Did you see what happened to that guy?
Yeah, I think well, one, he threatened to, wasn't he threatening to harm someone?
Joe Rogan.
Oh, yeah.
He was like, we need to fight.
And it
It's
was
the
like
only
yeah,
it's
and
the
he
only
was
way to
like,
settle this." And Joe was like, "Settle what?"
yeah, I don't
And he
know
was
what
like,
you're talking about. But like,
"This."
apparently that guy has a lot of weapons.
Oh,
And so Joe Rogan was like, it's a credible threat
yeah.
because
Oh,
I
yeah.
can
So
see
like
it
he's
happening.
so he apparently the dude's name is this is kind of funny. The dude's name is Brian Johnson, the same as like the Live Forever
Yeah,
dude.
yeah, yeah.
Brian Johnson, just a different spelling. One spells it with a Y, one with an I.
That's actually
But
insane. Are you
liver,
sure?
yeah, they're both Brian Johnson.
That's insane.
So red flag for dating.
Look,
Oh,
the
before he,
simulation, the
and the one is
simulation that we're all in.
one is vegan too, and the other is
Right.
carnivore.
Oh yeah.
So that the I or the Y, all the difference in the world. But the Liver King one, I don't know how he did this, but I guess he made like hundreds of millions of dollars in a previous life or some kind,
Hmm. I
doing
think he
whatever.
sold supplements.
That would be it.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure he still does. I'm pretty sure
Yeah,
that's
I'm pretty sure he still does too. And he's like
yeah.
raw liver.
Oh yeah, and the ancestral tenets.
Yes.
And
Yes.
um, but anyway, like he had all this money, and then which is like how he was able to like live his lifestyle,
Hmm.
obviously.
Hmm.
But um, he decided he needed to fight Joe Rogan, and he
Hmm.
posted a video, and like he looks insane. Like early on in his videos, he does like he looks insane, but like not
Sure.
insane. Like
Okay.
he just looks crazy. I'm like, what you're doing is weird.
Sure. Sure.
Versus like you look like his pupils were different sizes.
That's horrifying.
One of them was like the size of a pin needle, and the other was the entire size of a virus.
Wait, I think there was something else about his pupils though, where like something happened to his eye.
Concussion,
Possibly.
I
I
would
think that,
assume.
yeah,
I would assume anyone who eats testicles has suffered from some sort of traumatic brain injury.
probably. Or like some brain amoeba at that point.
Oh, the amoebas in him are having a fiesta.
Oh, yeah.
It's amoeba inside that man's body right now.
There is no way that his brain. Now, look, this is all conjecture. Don't come for us, Liver King.
Because we're not medical professionals.
No, we're not medical professionals. We're just really into wellness and fitness.
The Liver
So
King sees this.
yeah, no, we might get a credible threat out of this. So that is, I wouldn't be
Hey,
positive.
unbelievable publicity for the pod, though.
Oh yeah, seriously though. But I mean, there has to be something in his like there is no way that that much raw meat can be good for your mental health.
I think what we're seeing is like this is what happened to humans a long time ago.
Oh, you think?
Yeah, like we didn't always have cooked meats, you know? Now, back then we had the advantage of it was how we'd always eat. So our digestion was a little bit more set up for it.
Sure, but this is different than physical health.
This is
Like
what
I'm
I'm saying.
talking.
Like,
Oh, okay.
yeah, like back then people were cooking their meats, and then there were other cavemen around like these guys. Unbelievable. What a bunch of weenies. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? And
Hmm.
like I think we're just seeing like this is the I think this is he is primal. I think he is right. Like he has achieved his goal. You are a caveman. This is what I imagine cavemen to look like and act
What's
like.
it do to your mental health though if you're only eating raw meat? Like I understand that there are other ways to get like dopamine hits, but like food is such a cultural and like celebratory thing, and
Yeah.
he's literally using it strictly as like food, fuel,
Oh,
primal. And it's
there's some
like there's no way that you can be happy eating that.
no. You I mean look at his family. Look at the influencers who go to like spend a day with Liver King. You know what I mean? Like they can't be.
No, they
Maybe
can't be happy.
yeah. Like it's just no way to live. Like this is the thing of like,
I
okay,
think his enjoyment literally comes from. Now let's analyze his day to day. Where is he getting his dopamine hits from? He works
Uh,
out,
can you
so
even
that's a
feel dopamine
positive.
anymore at this point?
Honestly, I don't know because isn't there also like some controversy around whether he uses performance enhancing?
There's no controversy. He was saying $20,000 a month for steroids of some kind.
He so like does working out even give him a dopamine hit anymore?
Honestly, like if you're on that is so much gear. Like there are people that are competing in Mr. Olympia that aren't on that kind
Right.
of gear.
Oh yeah.
So like what that does to a person, the sad thing about bodybuilding is like those guys kind of became guinea pigs for those drugs
Mm,
of like what happens when you take this much test or this
mm,
much of this or that.
mm.
And what we found out is like you just lose your mind. Like you get roid rage and your balls shrink and yeah, you
Yeah,
get
but what
jacked.
about the really successful guys that are on it? Is it because it's their like
Our
what's
drugs
it
are a lot
called?
better now. Like it's a lot safer. It's not safe, but it is a lot safer to do performance enhancing drugs now.
Sure.
And like, so like if you're a guy and you're just doing HRT, right? They're giving you a testosterone amount that is normal. So like you just get to be 50 years old and your testosterone drops from 800 to 300. Like you
Mm.
feel that. And so they just give you enough to bump you back up to 800. So it's not like you're at an abnormal range. But if you're taking enough where your test gets up to two, three, four, 5,000,
Right, but what do like the professional bodybuilders get up to?
depends. Like it's a
Like,
lot.
are we talking in the thousands though?
Oh, for sure.
But like at that point, like they're not all necessarily out of their minds.
No, I mean it doesn't necessarily mean like you're going to get roid rage,
Sure.
right? But like I said, like the drugs are different.
Sure.
They got better. So like the anabolic steroids you would take back in the 70s are not what you would take back.
Sure. Sure.
So they
Plus I
just
feel like they're a lot more regulated ish.
yeah, I mean they just saw like, oh, a bunch of these people died when they were 40
Yeah.
because they had heart attacks and stuff. And so
Right.
now they do blood work and they monitor and
Right.
they keep your eye on that sort of thing. But
Right.
a let's say a normal adult is probably going to be somewhere in the 800, 5 to 800
Sure.
range.
Sure.
Right?
Sure.
If you get someone on a very small, mild cycle, they get up to 2 to 3,000 total test.
Okay.
If you get up to a moderate cycle, you're talking 3 to 5. If you're talking like high level, like Olympia, 5, 10,000 plus
Oh my
total test.
God. Yeah. So
Yeah.
like at that point,
Could
like
be
what
10 to
is that
20,000 in an elite like Mr. Olympia.
like what does that do? That's insane. What does that do to their mental health? I mean, there's no like what Liver King doesn't get happy from working out much anymore because unless he's like
Yeah.
pulling 9 trucks, he's probably not happy. And even
Yeah.
then, still probably not happy. He probably doesn't get much enjoyment out of food. His only dopamine head at this point is probably like the views
His
and
family.
subscribers he has and his family. But
Yeah.
again, is it even really his family?
I he I'd say he loves his family so much, like over the top. And maybe like that's why he's doing this
Maybe.
is to just like make money
Yeah.
for his family's life because they do have a life of luxury. They do have to eat testicles
Sure.
every now and then, but
Right.
you know, everything else like the bills are covered.
Right.
But like from what I've heard and listening to like bodybuilders talk, it does really affect their mental health. Where one of them was talking about just like you go to some pretty dark places
Yeah.
and not like just like they say their thoughts become so violent
Ooh.
of just like they think about violence a lot.
Oh my gosh.
And this is like a thing that I believe, and I'm not a doctor, but
To
I
clarify,
believe
I'm
that
not a
like
doctor.
high testosterone levels tend to trend towards female babies. Like you're more likely to have a female baby that with higher test. And the idea is
Uh-huh.
that you don't want too many guys in the society that are super high testosterone because they are more violent on average.
Uh-huh.
Like so
So how does that
nature
relate to
like takes
female
care of
babies?
it.
Oh,
of like
so
we'll have it.
nature's like, oh, we don't want another man.
We don't want too many more. Like you get some, but like we're gonna
Oh,
have
that's
four daughters
interesting.
on the offspring
Oh, that's interesting.
to
And then
try
they
to
get more
control.
angry, probably.
You're right. And but similarly, like, we don't like it does naturally connect for high and low levels.
That's interesting.
It is very it's so it's telling you like this is not it's like psychopaths, right? Like why do they exist?
Sure.
Because if you're in medieval Europe and you have to fight a war, it is helpful to have someone who can do that and not be emotionally affected,
Yeah, sure. Are
right?
you saying
But
you think there are more psychopaths during medieval times than there are now?
I think the number's probably the same.
Yeah.
I'm just saying like I would guess
I don't know. I feel like it might increase though. Because now
well,
you can be a psychopath without like necessarily having to interact with people. And so I
yeah.
feel like it's easier to just not feel things for people because you
Well,
have so much of like the parasocial relationship type thing.
and there's just a lot of things in our society that are set up for psychopathic like behaviors. So
Yeah.
even if you aren't a psycho, you're still acting it out. And at what point is there a difference between it's like confidence. Like what's the difference between being confident and just acting like you're confident,
Sure.
right?
Yeah.
Of if you're on a dating app and the app rewards you for getting lots of matches and lots of connections and just kind of cycling through and like the dating culture is sort of ghosting and all of these other things, like
Mm.
that's what you would expect out of a psycho who just doesn't care about the emotions of the other person, and it's really set up for them to succeed because they can lie. They can just set up a Hinge profile and an Instagram and they can present their life in a way that's just not real.
Are you
And
saying that people that ghost are psychopaths?
I'm saying like it is a behavior that lends itself towards that idea of
Sure.
not caring about the other person's
Sure.
emotions,
Sure.
right?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Where it's like the setup of Instagram plus like Hinge, right? How
Yeah.
hard would it be for me to like pick photos to make my life look a certain way?
Right.
And then all I have to do is convince them for what, like a week,
Sure.
maybe? And
Yeah.
then if my goal is to sleep with them, I can do it. And then I move on to the next person. It's set up for me to succeed.
Yeah.
It's a perfect system for someone who is a sociopath or a psychopath.
Or someone that just doesn't want to face their own feelings,
Right. And
which is,
at what point, like I said, like you're just acting out sociopathic behavior.
yeah. At what point does that become detrimental? Like, to an extent, I feel like dating apps a bit, have a purpose.
Yeah.
I don't know how
There
good
are
it
people that
is.
have met.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I don't know how good it is. I feel like it was better maybe like 5 years ago, and more people were
Yeah.
meeting people 5 to 10 years ago on dating apps
Yeah.
than now. And
It's
I'm not sure if it's because there are just more people that are like, oh, I just don't really care, or people that are just like, I don't know, like think they care. And then they're like, actually, I don't really want to talk to this person.
right. Well, if you go on and you have other options,
Sure.
or like, yeah, if I wait a couple months, I'm gonna have X many number of options,
Sure.
then what you're willing to put up with is like it's as you meet someone who has 80% of everything you would want,
Mm-hmm.
you're sort of like maybe this other person has the extra 20. Or you see someone who has the 20 they're missing, and
Mm-hmm.
then you go with them and you realize that's all they have,
Sure.
right? And versus I actually heard someone talking about this recently where they were saying like we seem to think that like the old school way of dating was like meeting people at bars and just going up
Mm-hmm.
and saying hi. But
Mm-hmm.
they were saying that it's in itself was an aberration and that the old school dating is actually like you meet someone through friends, family, school, church, or like work.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's someone in your immediate community
Mm-hmm.
that you meet, and that's the only way you were going to meet them,
Mm-hmm.
right?
I
Because there's
still
no,
think that's probably the most successful
it generally is the
way of
most
meeting
successful way to
people.
meet people because the people setting you up know you and know
Sure.
them.
Yeah.
So it's vetted, right? And the consequences are like if it's the son of your dad's coworker or something, right?
Right.
Like it's not like you can just ghost it. Like you do have to like amicably split. So how you can interact
Yeah.
changes as
I
well.
read a book recently, and it was the book that I was reading at camp that was incredibly boring, but the type that I like to read,
Okay.
where this girl met the guy that she ends up with. Now, granted, I have about 20 pages left, so they could break up at this point.
Okay.
I don't know.
It's looking
But
okay.
it's looking pretty okay.
Looking
But,
good.
and she met because her, I don't even really know the time period of this. Apparently, they have cars, but there's still not a lot of opportunities for women. Maybe the 1910s. I think it was
Oh,
pre-war because no one seems pessimistic in terms of
yeah.
like
Okay.
geopolitical things,
I see what you're saying.
you know?
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, women's suffrage, we need to get that. But it takes place in London. I don't really know. Anyway, but this girl meets this guy because her dad, he like works for her dad. And her dad like had a bunch of people over to like socialize and discuss papers. I don't know what people do. And he came over, and basically the entire book is her being like, he hates me. And now they're together. But that's how they met. Like it's not like she just saw him off the street and was
Yeah.
like, hey, can I get your number?
Right. And how many people even had like a choice in who they got to marry?
Yeah, exactly. Most
You
people
know,
didn't. But
most
she was
people did.
engaged to a guy earlier in the book who was a real dickhead. Well,
There you
not
go.
really. He was just dumb. I feel like he was the kind of person to have his bed in the middle of the room.
He's a he's as in the words of your sister, he's a five, but dumb. He's dumb. He's a five, but
He's a five, but he's dumb.
he's dumb.
Yeah, no, actually, though. And he also ends up with her much younger cousin, which also feels kind of weird. But it's fine. I don't know how she met that guy though. He just kind of popped into the story. Anyway, maybe I just
What was the name of the book?
I have it right here.
A great guess.
Night and Day by
Night and
Virginia
Day.
Woolf.
Oh, so is it a true story or no?
No,
Okay.
it's a Virginia Woolf story.
Virginia Woolf. I've heard that name before.
And she's a classic feminist writer.
Gotta be. I've definitely heard her name before.
She also wrote Mrs. Dalloway. She ended up being a very stream of consciousness writer. I don't later in her life. I think this was maybe one of her earlier books because it's not very
Okay.
stream of consciousness. But some of her others, it's like she's got a couple sentences that you don't know where they start, you don't know where they end.
Listen, those are my favorite works of writers are the ones that they like every author has
Uh,
where they're like, I'm gonna try something.
you ever read Ulysses?
Yes.
You have?
The like the Odyssey, the Iliad and the
No, no, no. There's oh gosh, what is it called? A stream of consciousness writers. I forget his name. James Joyce.
oh, okay. I
Yeah,
haven't
yeah,
read it,
yeah.
but
He
like
wrote
I know what you're
Ulysses,
talking.
and it's like an extreme. Like people have no idea what it's about. It's that stream of consciousness. Like it's literally just. It's clearly not nonsense, but
Yeah.
like there was something going on in his brain, and people were
Listen,
like, "What?"
he dropped some bangers.
Oh, I'm sure.
He dropped some bangers, and that's the only reason people are taking this book seriously. Because if this was the
Probably.
first book he'd come out with, then they're gonna go, yeah, this guy, is garbage. He's insane. But
Yeah,
he
this was
dropped,
definitely later in his life when he wrote
yeah,
that.
that you get the credit. Like it'd be like, imagine if J.K. Rowling just came out with a book like that was just like her laundry list, and then it goes into something else. and you'd be like,
I
listen,
don't know if she's a great example at this point.
I'm just saying, but like you could go and say like, oh, she wrote Harry Potter, like she knows something. Like
Yeah,
James
that's
Joyce, he
true.
did all of this stuff. He must know something. And like, he's not onto anything.
It's basically just like Oprah writing a stream of consciousness because everyone's like, oh yeah, she's super smart and wise and like clearly has dropped some
Something.
truth
She
bombs
knows she had
before. And
$1 billion. She
then
knows something.
you know what's horrible though? The stream of consciousness books that you study in school, and then you have those kids in your class that are like, I know what this means. They're just like
Oh,
making shit up out of their ass.
I hate open to interpretation. This is my issue with art. This is my issue with art is
Okay.
like you can't be wrong. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you'd have to sit in class and listen to kids break down art, what it means to them, and they would go off on whatever, and they would just like you'd show them a picture of, it's like it's an old Renaissance. It's a woman. She's like collapsing her drape as like a man on the ground is grabbing it and pulling it off of her, and like she's half naked, and there's a little cherubim off of her shoulder. They
Uh-huh.
go, what is this about? And someone will go, to me, it's about love. And they just like, they basically tell you about the tragedy of their own lives, of their own situationship, and they just project it onto the painting, right? And
Mm-hmm.
then you go and you read about the person who drew it, and you're like, oh, they're just a pervert. Like they wanted to draw a naked woman and they thought it was funny. And then there were some other like things they had to do to get it published. Throw the cherubim in, throw the other guy in doing this,
You
and
think
that
so?
was it. Oh,
You
oh,
ever read much about art history though?
I am going off of my understanding of Michelangelo and the fact that I read one of his letters to his friend while he
Okay.
was making the Sistine Chapel.
Okay.
And the entire letter, in summation, goes, this sucks. I hate my life. I am upside down on a wench all day trying to paint this freaking ceiling.
The
I have
difference though
so
for
much blood in
him,
my head.
yeah, that's
This
true.
is,
The difference though for him is that he was commissioned to do it. So he was already paid to make a piece of art. These other
yeah.
people, they're like, "Oh, I make art," and then they become famous after they're dead. So
Well, I
it's
mean,
like,
imagine if you're David, though. You're
ooh, like
Michelangelo's friend David, and he invites you guys all over to his exhibit, and it's a 13-foot statue of you butt naked.
I don't think David was based on a real person.
It's based on somebody.
Well, I think it was based on like a Greek figure,
Who was David
not
based
his friend David.
on?
He wasn't like, "Hey, Dave, I sculpted your butt cheeks."
That's why. What
I
is
don't think that's it.
David sculpture based on? I thought it was his friend,
It's not his friend David.
the biblical David,
Yes,
the young shepherd who defeats the giant Goliath with a sling.
exactly. It's all religious. I mean, here's the thing. I feel like a lot of art back then was all based on religious stuff, where it's like,
Yeah,
okay,
of
well, you
course.
that or like some type of weird sexual perversion.
That's what I'm saying. And now people go back and they look way too deeply into it, and they go, "I see myself," and I'm like,
Well, yeah, but it's up for interpretation at that point. It's like, well, what do you see in this art? Despite the
"That's the
fact that
part
the
that annoys
artist was just a disgusting pervert that wanted to paint his wife half naked, that's
me." Yeah,
different. And then you might interpret it differently. Sam, I just don't think you're leaning in to art enough. I don't think you are looking at art and thinking about it in the frame of your life.
I'm not.
What does a little cherubim mean to you in your life?
It doesn't mean anything to me at
Yes,
this
it
point.
does. It is something. Is
It's
it
got
is it
it's
is it
I don't
your
know.
your cat? Is it your dog?
I don't know.
What is a little cheerful angel in your life?
I feel like it's hard for me to read into my life in art because I grew up with pictures.
Yeah, but you have an imagination. You have an inner monologue.
But
You have a
that's what I'm yeah.
consciousness.
But like if I want to capture a moment, I can literally capture the moment. I've captured so many moments. Whereas back then they're like, how are we gonna capture like the crowning of Queen Elizabeth, or like what was the queen before Elizabeth? I'm
I
forgetting her
don't
name.
know.
Victoria. How do
Sure.
we capture Queen Victoria? Is like you had to paint it and you had to capture the ethos of the moment, and like you put the cherubims in to like express like the divine part of it.
But
But like
you're
I can
thinking
just
of
go,
this. Yeah, but that's objective. Like you
yeah,
can't capture what's behind the photograph. Like the emotions behind the photograph, like the moments like just before and just after. Like
yeah,
that's the interpretation part. Modern art, on the other hand,
yeah.
I have a hard time interpreting.
All like the ones where it's like them and they pour like gravel on themselves while people watch and
No,
stuff.
I think that's more performance art.
Okay.
But all I guess also
Is
modern
the
art.
modern
No,
art like the banana taped to the wall?
I would say the modern art, yes, yes. But to be honest, I feel like that's easier to interpret than like a green square on canvas.
Oh yeah,
It's like those things. And I don't doubt that they are beautiful pieces that you can put in your home and make work and they will sell
yeah.
for thousands and thousands of dollars. I just don't really understand how to interpret them in relation to my life
It's
because it's
color
like,
blocking. It's color blocking, and
but what does that
any target
mean
mom
in
can do it.
relation to your life, though?
Uh well, do you know my honest opinion
Here's
is
my
I
question. Well, one, I want you to answer that question, and then I
yeah.
also want you to answer what is your interpretation of a banana taped to a wall?
Well, my interpretation, how high is the banana up on the wall?
Face height.
Face height?
Yes.
I would interpret it as I am a monkey and my most valuable desire is right in front of me, and sometimes you miss it.
Now, how would that change if it was taped somewhere else at some
That
other height on the
if it was
wall?
taped high above me where I couldn't reach it, then I would feel like a monkey in a game, just
That's
being
fair.
taunted.
That makes sense.
Yeah. But like the art side of it, I like, okay, let me walk you through it, right? Let's say I got $1 billion, right?
But this isn't commissioned art.
No, this is what I'm saying.
Okay.
You do a painting, you're a good artist, right? You do a painting of whatever,
Uh,
right? And then I look at it and
mm,
then I go, I'll give you $10 million for that. And
okay.
then I give you $10 million and then I take that art and I go to have it appraised
Hmm.
by my best friend who's an art appraiser and I have him
Okay.
appraise it for $50 million. And
Okay.
now I have made $40 million on art. And it was all just a big old fat scam.
What was the scam?
The scam was that I took random art, I paid you for it, and then I took it to my friend to have him appraise it for more. And he just artificially, I'm like, yeah, just say it's 50 million, I'll make 40 million. I split it with you. And we
So
make
he's
for
not a real art appraiser.
he is a real art appraiser. And
But then,
that's what I'm paying
but
him
he
to
like
do.
bogus
Yeah, he
appraised it.
bogused it. It's I
Right.
think
So
they
then
do
he's
this
not a real art appraiser
well, he's real
because
in the
he's
sense
not
that he's
doing it.
official.
Is sure, but he's not doing it genuinely.
Well, I think there are people that do this for rich people. I think
You think?
it's oh, for sure. Like,
I
well,
don't know.
artists back, well, like, yeah, you remember the Sarah Gardner Museum?
Oh yeah, that's my.
That
It's the Isabella Stewart Gardner Museum.
Isabel's a Stuart Gardner Museum, and they took the paintings, but
Yeah,
the paintings are obviously like they would hold them as collateral for other crimes that they would commit.
sure.
So, like, you get tossed in, they can go, well, if you want this painting back, you can let me
That
go
we know
free,
of.
right? That we know of. So, if you're telling me that petty criminals are doing that, then, or it's like, hey, how do we launder some money? Well, I'm going to have my, good for nothing son who is spoiled got raised on, I'm going to have him do a finger painting and then you can give him whatever for that and we'll wire the money through. Like it's just a perfect medium for money shenanigans, whatever they may be. And I
That's
think,
true.
and I think you can see this in the quality of our sports statues.
Oh
When was the
yeah.
last time you saw a good statue of anybody, historical figure, sports figure, anybody, that was publicly revealed? It's been a long time since I've seen a good one.
Well, the Ronaldo one wasn't good.
Tom Brady one wasn't good.
I don't remember that one.
It just came out. It's
Oh,
not good.
maybe the Arnold one in
Maybe,
Columbus, Ohio.
but I feel like he's very blocky.
That's fair.
He's
That's
not a
fair.
tough, he's not a tough one to sculpt.
But
But then
but
but you
if
look at
you
like some
but
of these old
that's like
sculptures.
yeah, but that's also like the rich people that commission pieces and then they get them appraised for like they buy them and they get them appraised for more because they're like, I don't feel anything for this art, but I know I can get a lot of money for it. But what about the people that are making the art? Like, what do they see in that? Because they're like, they don't know how much people are going to pay for it. They don't know if it sucks. They're just looking. They don't think it sucks because no one's going to
Right.
do a piece of
Well,
art
like
that they
this is
think
the
sucks.
thing is this,
But like,
yeah,
if it's just a green square, they have to draw inspiration from something. And then at
yeah.
that point, it's like, well, why did you think that that was the best way to interpret it? And
I would
also,
well, I would say for me, it's the same thing of like what makes a hot person a model. Because what makes someone like an artist? Because there's a lot of people who can draw really well,
right.
but they're not highly successful artists. But we would look at it and go, your drawing of this is objectively better than this little color crap that's happening over here, right? But one of them made a lot of money. Similarly, like there's a lot of beautiful people. Why is this person a model and this person's working at Lowe's? Like
Well, because they're passionate about Lowe's.
I think it's like the beauty is in the eye of the beholder,
And
but
you
I
know
also
what?
think there's a lot of shenanigans that go on of like to
Well,
be
well,
a
definitely in the art world because that's shady.
oh oh
That's like the peak of white collar crime. Okay,
it's
if
the
you can.
foundation of it.
Oh yeah, art heists. I mean, come on. I wish there were more. I wish
There's
there were
not
more
a
art heists for purely for my entertainment. I do not wish for people to steal more art.
yes.
To
It's like
clarify,
there's not a more high class crime than that
no.
to steal art. What was the wine guy who was like he was bluffing people on wine. He was taking cheap wine from the store and then he was recreating the bottles of expensive wines
Mm,
and then he was putting it in and he was selling them at auction for millions.
dang.
And they had wine testers there, supposedly professionals,
Right.
that were like, "Oh, this is something
This
special,"
is
and it's like
exquisite.
$5 at Lowe's, no, at Walmart if you want
I'd buy wine at Lowe's.
it. You don't want the Lowe's one; they're making it out bad. They got a guy, they got a guy on the loading dock who's
Well, look,
manipulating
the wine connoisseur thought it was good, so it's just wood wine,
it. It's I.
pine needle wine.
What's the most expensive bottle of wine you've
None.
ever? Never.
I mean, no. I have, I don't know, probably like 20 bucks, if that. I've drank out of two bottles of wine before,
Okay.
out of the bottle. I haven't
Never out
ever
of a
had a
glass.
glass one. No.
Okay. You've only gone straight from the tap.
Yeah, exactly. And you know what? Those were both in college, and
Yeah.
I have no idea what they were or how much they cost. I think surprisingly, they were both white wines. I maybe had three sips of each,
Okay.
and that was it.
Sipping white wine from a bottle in
I don't
college.
think I was sipping. I think I was more like, I'm going to chug three
I'm
sips. I chugged three sips.
gonna eyeball
I'm going to eyeball it.
it. I'm gonna
And you
drink
know
until
what?
I'm
It did nothing to me because I
oh,
don't drink. And it really wasn't a lot.
okay.
It might have felt like a lot to me going
So
down the gullet.
maybe chug is a strong word.
Yes, for sure.
Okay.
Absolutely, it is. And
There
I
you go.
probably also had food in my system because there's no way I wasn't eating.
When you think back to how you ate in high school versus college versus now,
Uh huh.
what do you feel like the biggest difference is?
I could eat bread
Number one.
and I could drink milk and I would have cereal before school every day.
Honestly, that might be the biggest issue is grandma just refuses to acknowledge that lactose intolerance is a thing.
Honestly, that probably is it.
Yeah, her generation. I've never met a person her age who was lactose intolerant or had a peanut allergy.
Do you think that was because though they died early on?
With the well, peanut allergy potentially, lactose intolerance.
Yeah, but do you think it like screwed up their intestines so much
I mean,
that
have
it
you seen
gave them
pictures of
colon
those old
cancer?
people? Like the people that are somehow skinny in the legs and the arms, but they just are really fat in the midsection.
I feel like that's me.
That's definitely not you.
I
This is
think it
like
might be.
it's a
And you
very
know
like
what? It's because of milk.
the milk is in it. They're slipping milk in everything.
Exactly. Yeah,
Same
well, I
level.
mean, I don't know, but also I'm not gonna. There had to have been people that
Oh,
were lactose intolerant. People just probably didn't think anything of it. People were
well,
probably going around town farting their butts off. And
my
everyone
understanding.
was just like, there's just a lot of smog in the air.
It's just a factory down the street. Don't worry about it.
It's just the rubber factory down the
My
street.
understanding is that lactose intolerance dates back like 5,000 years in Ireland,
Oh, yeah.
and that like people just didn't care.
I think that was it.
Like you got to eat. You
Yeah.
might, yeah, you gotta have a tummy ache, but like you got to eat.
Yeah.
Your
I
option
think
are
people,
your food sources this go.
yeah, Great Depression. People were like, I don't care what it is. I'll eat it.
I think it's funny that we call the Great Depression when their lives were like, well, tough. We're still better than lives of people for most of human time. Like we don't refer to like life in ancient Rome as the Great Depression, even though like they had nothing.
It's called the depression though because financially, isn't that a term in finances?
Yeah,
Maybe
financial
not.
depression, the recession depression.
Yeah, I guess that is kind of a funny name for it though, because there are much worse things that have happened in history, and no one was like the Civil War, but it's not the Great Depression.
People's
My
mental health.
neighbor died because everyone in the neighborhood had to deploy for the Revolutionary War, not the Great Depression.
America, that is a bunch of people from all over the world who were like, you know what? Rather than stay here, I'm going to take a mystery voyage across an ocean
Uh huh.
to this unknown land that I've been told about
Uh huh.
on the off chance that I can show up,
Uh huh.
speak potentially a second language,
Uh huh.
and then with nothing, and then just figure out work and build a life.
Yeah.
Like, we're a country of people that are largely descended from a bunch of people that thought that was cool. And I think
Oh.
like that was the thing to do. And I feel like you see it in like the American culture of like why we are the way that we are because we're all descended from a bunch of people who took the craziest chance. Like, can you imagine right now you just get on a boat to Europe and maybe the boat gets there, but it's gonna be like 3 months from now.
Uh huh.
And like you have to like your family is coming, but like maybe not. And like
Uh
your brother went a month ago and maybe he got there and then you're gonna
Sure.
get there and like you're gonna not speak French, but everyone speaks French, but like you're told that you can build a life there and all these different things. And you're just like, yeah, okay, I'll do that.
I don't know what. Look, the marketing team for early US must have been
They were
incredible.
selling. They were
Their
moving.
budget must have been massive with the amount of people that were like, sure, I'll throw my whole life away and potentially never see my family again to
Oh,
maybe start a bakery in this other place that I don't really know anything
start a
about.
start a bakery in New Haven.
Literally, that's so bizarre to me that
And also, who's going to be there? All of my enemies from this immediate area who also go. But now we're
yes,
all in the same country, but they
yes.
still hate
Mm-hmm. I'm telling you, I don't know what the marketing scheme was for
me.
that,
Yeah,
but like they must have had plants all over Europe being like, "You heard about this?
it's pretty nice.
My cousin has a tire shop there now."
I hear there's a lot of gold out west. That's just what I'm hearing. That's what I'm
No,
hearing.
honestly,
And
that probably was
what's
a lot of
crazy
it too.
too is all of those people got there and then they're at each other's necks. And then like next thing you know, they're like, hey, we gotta fight the Nazis. And they're
Yeah.
like, say less, we're in. And
Yeah.
we're back.
I don't think many people were like, we're in. There were still a lot of people that
Oh,
were
people signed
against
up.
the war.
Well, yeah, there were, but
But
en
we
masse,
also
people signed up
joined
for World War II.
way later.
We did, but that was because people were mostly against the war. And then once the boats got blown up and we were like actually attacked, that
Right.
was when it slapped and like everyone's like, well, now we got to go to war.
There was still a draft, though.
A lot of people signed up to go.
Yeah,
It
I
did.
get. I think
It
it's still
flipped
like
from like
once.
50. It flipped from like 50-50 to like 80-20.
Yeah, I think. Wait, have you seen those videos of it's like the 1940s housewife and or like yeah, I think 1940s. Or like 1950s housewife and it's this woman and she's like sticking her head in the oven and she was like 10 years ago, I used to build planes and now I'm a housewife. And like, it's just like such a weird dichotomy between like the opportunities that the women had during wartime, where it was like they were doing so much, they
Yeah,
were
all the way.
real innovators.
Yeah,
And
like
then
yeah.
as soon as the war ends, they're like, oh, guess my skills were just useless and I'm back to being stupid.
What a crazy thing to like do to a country where you're like all the men like you whatever you've been doing, you're now a soldier and you're gonna go fight war, and all the women like, well, I know you don't like have a ton of education, but now I need you to run an industrial steam plant,
And
and
you know
you're
what? They did it.
and everyone was like, we got it, and everyone knocked it out of the park.
But then
And then they
going
just come
back,
back at the end and they're like, all right, well, that was fun, we'll go back, and people are like, well, what was that? What was those last 5 years? Did we
which
not
is
just
so
Am I not a forklift
insane.
certified person?
Yeah, right. Did you not see me using a forklift like a
You not see
freaking
all these
G?
boats that we built?
Yeah, did you not see the whole airplane that we sent over and destroyed the enemies? Like, we built those.
Did we not build a bomb? I'm confused.
Yeah, like, was that just a dream? As I now drink my sorrows away, stick my head in an oven, and try not to bathe with a toaster? Like,
I love like those old like dating tips for the housewife back in the day, and like the man. There was one up at camp that I was reading.
oh, you're
Uh,
reading this to me
yeah, I love those
and
because like
Sean.
they'll have like two pieces of good advice. And then you'll be like, oh, yeah, that no, it is a good idea to communicate with your wife. And then the next one will be like, but if she gets out of line, you got to let her know. Like, all
Yeah.
right, well, there we go.
Well, that kind of ruined that.
Yeah, okay. You were good. You
No,
had it for a little bit. You had it and then you lost it.
it's so funny. I should send you one of those videos of that woman because she's like, it's just a bunch of like her yelling and being like, everything's fine. I've had my third glass of scotch and it's only 8 a.m. And like, looks like I'm gonna go pick the kids up from school.
I love the ones where like it's like the husband is talking to a doctor and he's like, my wife who I never sleep with and who works all day long and who hasn't had a good meal and is like understarved and all these other things. Like sometimes she thinks that I'm being moody. And
Yeah,
then the doctor goes, wow, this is just crazy.
I think she needs a lobotomy.
You need to lobotomy. I want to
I
show
think we
you
need
this.
to do some bloodletting.
Did you, okay, one thing at a time. This is an old one that I found recently.
Uh-huh.
It's called It's
It's
Only Me.
only measles.
It's Only Measles. It's from back in what year is this from? I think this is from the 1940s potentially.
And that's a real book.
Yeah, it's called It's Only Measles.
And where did you find this?
It was in like an old storage thing from back in the day.
Grandmoms.
It's not complete, but it says it's nothing serious, only measles, says the smiling housewife to her caller. Alfred isn't really sick. I didn't put him to bed or call the doctor. As the visiting neighbor still seems too hesitant, the carefree mother urges, oh, come on in, bring the baby too. They say
Oh
it's
gosh.
better to have measles early and get it over with. And then the next thing is, but that is serious. What's wrong with this picture? And it's a mom with a doctor, and their son is in bed, and he's like that. And he goes, in the first place, measles is never nothing serious.
Oh
Measles is
God.
very widespread. highly contagious disease causing 10,000 deaths each year among very young children. Secondly, no one ever knows at the beginning how serious an attack of measles will be. So a physician should always be called the moment measles is suspected. And then they have a little graph here of deaths by measles by age.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Under 1 year, it was 350. Oh, 1 to 2 was the big one. That was the high death year. And then 2 to 5 was low, 5 to 9 was the lower, and then 9 to 15 was the lowest. Almost nobody died from that.
That's
But
insane.
it's very funny to like see these old. If your child shows signs of measles, running nose, sneezing, eyes red and watery, put him to bed at once. Immediately, arrange the windows so that the room is ventilated, but glare and droughts are prevented. Because so if you had a child of measles,
Mhm.
you would not want to put him on a bed in the middle of the room facing the window.
No, absolutely not.
Last place you want that kid to be, because that
If you
glare and
have
that
the
draft,
measles, if a psychopath gets the measles, they're gonna die.
they're cooked. The glare
Uh-huh.
and the draft,
Oh
no.
yeah.
Give only, oh, this might be it. Ready? Give only a light diet of milk, soup, and cereal. So maybe grandma
Oh,
thinks we have measles.
maybe she does.
Prevent constipation.
That's gonna be tough with the milk soup and measles.
It's gonna be tough with cereal, but you got to do it. Don't let others come near the sick child. Asterisk, ask for home care of communicable diseases at John Hancock Mutual Life Insurance Policy Company.
Oh, okay.
And that's where it cuts off. But those are the tips I have if someone does get measles, because I know it is out there. Milk, soup, and cereal, do not get constipated, whatever you do.
I
Avoid
think
a
that would give
glare.
you diarrhea, honestly. It'd go in the opposite direction. Milk,
These,
soup, and cereal. If you're lactose intolerant, okay, you're lactose intolerant, you get a glass of milk. And then on top of the milk, they're like, here, drink this soup, more liquid, yum, yum, which could help with the diarrhea because you might be dehydrated. But then they give you cereal, which is high in fiber. And then on top of that, you have the measles and diarrhea. And all of a sudden, you're facing the window, you feel a draft, and you die.
the glare of the sun hits your eye, and you're like, Jesus, this is you. You feel the draft of the wind, and you're like, come with me, child.
Yeah, right.
And you're like, oh.
You see a bright white light, but it's just your mom holding a glass of milk in front of your face.
That's probably why the coworker got so triggered. He goes, I have measles. Okay.
I have measles. I needed the milk.
It's not a laughing. Yeah. Oh, you can take care of this. I'm fighting chronic illness.
It was one time I was ill. I don't think any doctor has ever been like, oh, your child is sick. Give him a hearty glass of whole milk.
Well, the last thing I would want is if I have the flu and then someone brings me a big glass of warm milk.
Can you imagine if someone did that though?
Trying to assassinate
Grandma probably would do that though.
Trying to assassinate me?
She'd probably be like, here is a whole stick of butter and also a glass of milk.
Like, are you trying to get me to kill myself right now?
Don't drink
If
it
it gets to be too
all at
much,
once.
you can end it. And here's some butter and some milk, and you can just call it.
You can just call it as it is.
And I'm sitting there and I'm sweating and it's 105-degree fever. And I look over and that milk is just talking to me. Like,
Oh yeah.
come to me, Samuel.
You have three half empty glasses of milk over there. You're the psychopath.
I bet, like, I was telling this to my mom the other day. Like, back in the day, they were like, "Why does everybody have health problems?" And then we look back and like, because you were eating arsenic and there was poop everywhere.
Because you
Like,
licked the wall.
yeah, like there was poop, 3 feet of poop in the street, and you
Oh,
had
yeah.
arsenic and lead as part of your diet. And they're like, "I keep getting bacterial infections." And you're
I
like,
keep getting worms in my ears, and all of a sudden it's like, well, yeah, you're
yeah,
swimming in in the outlet of the sewers. They're like, I thought it just
the
smelled
water is
stinky.
brown. You
Yeah.
are living. You're living with horses. You're living in a manger. That's what you're living in, a manger. What is
I
this?
thought this water was safe to drink. There was literally a piece of poop in it.
Yeah.
They're like,
I, I,
well,
okay, it's a little
that
out.
never hurt my parents, now did
My
it?
my father had a little poo in his glass of milk every night, and he lived to be 35.
He lived to be 35 and he was healthy as a horse until the very end when he
Yeah,
died of measles and diarrhea in the bed in the center of the room.
and me and my 11 siblings, we all just, we miss our father dearly, and we take after.
Six that have worms in their brain, and three that have intestinal diarrhea constantly. And we all
We
sleep in the one bed in the center of the room.
we have
Every
our little
night,
brother.
mother
We
gets us glasses of milk.
we got our little brother Nomeo. He had polio. He don't walk real good, so we got to make sure we get him soup
We do have
and
an iron
cereal.
lung in the home in case anyone comes down with polio for a second time.
Yeah. Make sure you don't strike a match in that room. He can go up. There's a lot of oxygen. He'll go up in flames.
Do you think the grandparents' bed in Charlie and the Chocolate Factory was in the middle of the bed? Was in the middle of the room.
It might have been.
Now that I think about it, I feel like it
It
was.
might have been. That's a very. If you're living like that, come on.
It makes it fun for the kids.
That
Okay,
is
it's like an obstacle in the room. All of a sudden, you have a new bridge for the toy cars.
one of my favorite things about old movies is like the children's stories had the most tragic, like like Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, like they live in absolute poverty.
Absolute squalor. They
And
poop in
now
buckets and they dump their pee out the side of the window.
this is awful. And it's like, yeah,
Everyone shares the same bucket.
what is this hero's origin story? His mother was eaten by a Tyrannosaurus when he was escaping, looking for food as he starved to death slowly.
Yeah,
We'll call it The Land Before Time. And it'll be a
but you know
children's
what?
cartoon.
It set the stage.
It is.
However, I think it really did traumatize me when I was younger. I was always
Oh,
like, why are these movies so horrifying, yet also very depressing?
it took me 3 attempts to watch Mulan because the Huns were scaring me.
Really?
Oh, I was terrified.
I
The
didn't
opening
like.
scene of that movie is them coming over,
Yeah,
and
that's
then
true.
the soldier lights the lamp and he goes, "Now all of China will know you're here." And the guy laughs and he goes, "Awesome."
Oh gosh, did they use the word awesome back then?
Or he goes like, he says like perfect or something.
Oh,
But like there's a scene
awesome.
where there's a scene in the film, and this is where I would lose it all the time, right? Is the scene where they're going off to war and they're singing about like a girl worth fighting for and
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
all that stuff. And then it gets cut off because they reach like the encampment and
Oh,
everybody's dead.
oh yeah, and then the doll.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And I was like, oh, so everyone just got slaughtered.
yeah.
And I would like cry and I could watch it. And I finally got through that scene.
Uh,
And the next scene is the Huns coming over the pass. And I was
yeah.
like, ah.
It's unfortunately quite realistic, but very sad.
If you watch it back, you're like, man, like the Huns really just executed.
Yeah, they really
Like
did.
they really executed an incredible war plan.
I didn't like The Lion King. That was not an easy watch.
Brutal. Brutal.
Yeah. I mean, first of all, Scar, horrifying. He's just a scary guy.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Absolutely terrifying. And he's mean. He's a 5, but he's dumb.
He's 5, but he's dumb. And he killed his brother.
Yeah, he killed his brother and then he gets trampled by these animals that are just trying to get away. And then the kid's just left alone. And then the kid kind of gets terrorized by the scary lion. And I don't even remember how it ends. Truly, I don't remember how it ends. I remember one scene where Timon and Pumbaa are farting in a mud bath. And other than that, I don't
They,
remember.
they were like, we just showed one of the most horrific deaths in like 5 minutes of a son going, "Come on, Dad, get up. We
Yeah.
got to lighten the mood." And Timon and Pumbaa come in and go,
They're like,
"Nothing to
you
worry
want a
about,
bug,
kid.
kid?
Eat some bugs. It's gonna be all
Also,
right."
why do they sound like a 1930s like newspaper kid? It's like,
Precisely.
you wanna like trying to sell something on the street? You want
I,
a newspaper? You want me to walk you home?
it's Pumbaa's entire origin story is that he has no friends because he ripped a nasty fart at the watering hole one
You
day.
think? Is
That's
that
his
true?
whole story.
Are you sure?
Yeah, listen back to Hakuna Matata, and Pumbaa will talk about how his whole backstory is he was at the watering hole, he ripped a
Oh, yeah,
gnarly
that's
fart,
true.
and nobody wanted to be his friend after
Yeah, I
that.
forgot about that.
That's his origin story. And they were like, "We get it. You lost your father. You watched him get trampled and killed by your uncle, and
Hmm.
then you had to like be chased off by hyenas and almost killed. We
Hmm.
get it." One time I was at the watering hole, ripped a massive poop. Nobody said anything.
Stinky. So now we're friends.
Ripped a hot stinky.
You know what? He would have been perfectly fine if he was alive in the 1920s because everything stunk.
They would have been like, "Guys, it's smog."
If he was a warthog wandering around in New York City in the 1920s, you know what? He probably would have had plenty of friends. Instead of how the New York Stock Exchange now has like that
Oh, the big bowl.
the big bull, it just would have been the big
Big Pumbaa.
warthog. Yeah, big boomba. Because everyone would have been like, farting, I've never heard of it. I just thought it was smog.
Honestly, we'd have our country would be better off if the stock exchange motto was Hakuna Matata.
That's probably very true.
The fact that their motto is like money at all costs is
Is it
maybe
really?
a little intense.
Is it actually their motto?
I'm not sure, but it's going to be something in Latin that's like they're quoting like Marcus Aurelius. He's like murdered a whole
Sure,
civilization.
yeah. We should probably also just make it fart in a mud hole.
What
Fart in
is
a mud hole. Make money.
the
Eat a
stock
bug.
exchange? My word is bond. Dictum meum pactum for the London. The New York Stock Exchange is connected to a world of opportunity. That's very Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
Yeah, that is a world of opportunity.
Where are all these Oompa Loompas from? Don't worry about it. I went to the jungle this one time.
It's a world of opportunity. You can be anything nowadays. You can be
Yeah,
small, orange, and have green hair.
absolutely. We're outsourcing to Oompa Loompa Land. I'm going to pay a full. It's too. There's so much labor. It's much cheaper if we make the chocolate over in Oompa Loompa Land.
And you know what? No one minds because instead of smog, we have chocolate syrup coming out of those smoke snacks.
Bosco chocolate syrup. Would you like one? And then, would you like an everlasting gobstopper? We're very sorry what happened to your daughter. I didn't mean her to blow up like a blueberry just
We
now.
didn't mean to kill her accidentally. The Oompa Loompas didn't mean to trample her trying to get to the lollipop garden.
What an understated part of this tour is it really is a tour of attrition.
It's really a journey. It teaches you growth, it teaches you life and death, and then it teaches you how to pick yourself back up afterwards
If
and
you
take a lollipop on the way out.
maybe even the whole company, who knows? Some people they leave with their life and that's enough. Other people they adopt a company that engages in indentured servitude.
Take a couple lollipops on the way out, one for each of your grandparents that still live with you at the point.
I had to save the Oompa Loompas. I had to. They were being hunted. By who? Don't ask.
It
It
was
was them.
one blueberry girl or 100 Oompa Loompas. At this point, it's an Askers question. Who would you
You all
save?
would have pushed her. You all would have pushed her. Don't act like I'm unique in that.
She's the fat person that you'd push in front of the train. It's just what if it's Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, but it's just like an ethics experiment, and they just each room is like
No, it's the next
another
Mr.
thought
The next
another thought
Mr. Beast
experiment.
video. It's the ethic. Can 100 people complete the ethics experiment that is Charlie and the Chocolate Factory?
You have 500 Oompa Loompas. What do? You have to paint yourself orange and put on a green wig. You
You
are
can.
one of them now.
There are roughly 35 people living in abject poverty in this town. They are four to a bed. Now, do you ethically hire them for a living wage, or do you import Oompa Loompas from Oompa Loompa Land to work for free?
Now that is the question. And then on
Note that
top of that, we sell these really fancy chocolate tickets that
the
cost
Oompa,
millions of dollars. But you know what? It goes, it's trickle down.
it's trickled down with Wonkonomics.
Trickle down walkonomics. And while your grandparents are sleeping in that bed in the middle of the room, you too can be a chocolate factory winner.
And
Honestly, I think that would be a great satirical movie
That would be
if
an unbelievable movie.
they just did Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, but it's just a whole,
They,
not a
they
whole giant thought experiment, because I feel like that could turn into like a creepy thriller movie, and I don't want that. I want it to be something like Jojo Rabbit.
yeah. Oh my gosh, that movie was whiplash.
That was so funny though.
They'll like it's like a movie about Hitler and the Nazi youth, and it's all like a comedy and stuff, and then they'll go and his mother was up.
Yeah,
Back to the comedy.
I feel like that's what we need this movie to be about though.
That
You know?
absolutely
They're
just
like,
like someone in the Wonka's office, like the litigation and the
we've
legal.
been sued, sir.
What do we do? What if we brought a child in and gave him the coat?
What if we
Would
brought
that
7 children and their parents, and only one of their parents into this, and we gave them a tour of the factory? Do you
we
think
would?
that would save them from suing us?
And they're so poor that they'll take it, naively not knowing that they're opening themselves up to human rights violations. Meanwhile, protecting our assets.
And they won't
Unbelievable.
notice a single thing because they'll be so high on sugar they won't be able to recognize their own mother when they get out.
We'll tell them it's sugar. And yes, we've just created it. It's definitely not cocaine.
It's definitely not cocaine anymore.
Yes, it's a chocolate. It's
They
a
have a
fudge
whole room
river.
of white powder. They're like, kids, go have fun. Go have fun. Play in the
Lick
sand dunes.
everything. Have a blast.
Every like everything is edible here. Take a lick. And it's just like all arsenic and cocaine at this
Touch,
point.
taste. Don't ask too many questions.
It's like it's like what the oh gosh, the Wizard of Oz, the filming of the Wizard
Oh,
of Oz the first time, where the horses were literally just covered in colored gelatin, but the gelatin was made out of their own hooves. It's so depressing.
oh, that movie was
And
incredibly depressing.
the first guy that was chosen to play the Tin Man, he ended up having like a super severe reaction to the silver paint because it was
Yeah.
like poison. And he went to the hospital and they were like, "So when are you gonna be out?" He's like,
Filming's on Monday. We hope to see you there, old chap.
and they're like, "So is this gonna be cleared up by then or no?" Apparently the Wicked Witch of the West originally was also burned a bunch of times because like
Oh
the
yeah.
you know how in the
I
way
remember,
they
yeah.
like, yeah, they like throw powder down and then she like explodes
Yeah.
into fire and she disappears. She got heavy burns from that.
Oh yeah. No, they've had the same problem with WWE. Like they
Do
burn their wrestlers a lot with the
they
fire.
seriously?
Oh, there's been a couple times where like wrestlers have come out and they've just like not marked where they're supposed to stand, and
Mhm.
they've just been like this, and then all of a sudden you just go, and then you
Oh
just
my
see them
god.
running out, and all the kids are like, "Undertaker!"
Have we learned nothing since the filming of The Wizard of Oz?
100 years later, they're still making, and then they're up in heaven. Like I told you, it's not as easy as it looks.
We need to do
Like
a whole like
the
satirical um a whole satirical documentary on our world now, on the US now, but just in a 1920s in a 1920s reporting voice.
honestly, we could just like we could do it back all the way through the beginning of time.
Oh, that would be so funny.
That would just it's like the same people in charge, but like now it's just back in
And
time. It's
here Nero has burned the entire city and sits there playing his little fiddle. And
what do you
everyone
think
else
about
is dying at this point.
we owe Greece a lot of money. So hear me out. What if we sell some land, some of those little parks? What if we sell them to some of like the wild tribes? Why would we do that? I'm just spitballing. I'm just throwing
I'm
ideas
just
out.
spitballing here. There's
Just throwing
plenty of
ideas out.
ideas. I don't know. We owe them a lot of money. We owe them a lot of money.
A lot of money.
It's just like a
Cannot
bunch of people in.
emphasize how many coins.
I cannot emphasize how far into debt we are currently. This is the Great Depression.
What is depression? It's a financial thing.
It's a
Financial thing.
mental thing.
It's a mental.
Just don't think
Roman
about it.
Roman mental health is not what it used
Grab your swords and grab your breastplates, boys, and get
to be.
out there onto the streets. Make our city safe again.
My great grandfather fought the Gaelic Wars, and ever
My great
since this,
my great grandfather was Odysseus. He sailed all the way across the sea with no help at all, just by himself. And all of a sudden, he made it to another land and had a bunch of
I am
books.
going to build the most beautiful wall between here and Ireland. It's going to be called Hadrian's Wall, and it's going to be unbelievable. And Ireland is going to fund it.
No, that's too recent. We need to
That is
be we need to be
also,
1950s, between 1900s and 1950s type narration.
listen, that is an incredibly common idea throughout
Oh
human
yeah.
history. Is
But
we're
you gotta
gonna
say it like, and we're gonna build a wall, and that wall is gonna be paid for by the people that don't even know it. And
the
they're gonna be
Celtic people of Ireland. We've sent the courier.
yeah, we've sent the courier. They better be prepared
He's
because that wall is going up whether they like it or not.
You imagine being that guy. You need to go across the river to the barbarian Irish people and inform them that they owe us roughly 50 million Roman coins for this wall.
50 million Roman coins, and we don't even know the name of the land yet. We're gonna
So,
call it Ireland.
Ireland, because why Ireland? Well, they were very mad when we told them that they owed
They
us
were
all,
very angry.
very ire of them,
A
and
bunch of
they were not
small,
happy.
angry men that all were orange and had green hair.
And it was actually on the way back, one of my friends said, I have an idea for a chocolate factory that they could be grateful.
These people we could definitely employ them as indentured servants
Servitude.
and have them build this kingdom of candy.
It's cheaper to build breastplates and also in togas in Ireland. What are Romans gonna build those? No.
Those people, they're taking our jobs.
They're taking the Irish are taking our job. They're not sending their best. They're not sending their brightest. I assume some are good people, but
But you know what? We're going to pay them because they are cheaper than our current people, because our people are too valuable. Too
and
valuable.
there's people and there'll be people in Senate like I don't know about these brothels. It doesn't feel like it's empowering women like they say it is.
And you know what these incentives are? We just give them bars of chocolate. We tell them, if you come to our country, we will give you bars and bars and bars of chocolate. And all you need to do is pay a small fee of $2 million. And all of a sudden, you're going to be working for us. We have plenty of cocaine because the people from the other country also came over and brought us cocaine, even though we're trying to get rid of them. But you know what? It's delicious. Everyone loves it. It
We'll
helps us
distract
work
them with
so
the
much
gladiator
harder.
matches every Sunday. Fantasy gladiator matches. Pick your lineup.
You too can be a gladiator.
You too. Anyone can be a gladiator.
This
I
is
love
like our drafting propaganda. Like, you too can be a gladiator. Grab your breastplates and make your swords, and you too can change this country for the better.
For a lot of young Romans, it's the only way out of poverty. Their
They're
athletic
like,
ability to be a gladiator is their only way out.
it's a very, very promising. And you know what? You get so many good benefits. Your whole family gets life insurance because it's very probable that you will die in the arena.
There is a lot of CTE in these gladiators. They're getting concussions.
We don't offer helmets and we don't offer much safety, but you know what? It's darn entertaining.
A lot of proponents are saying concussions from what? They just got a little ring in the head.
They just have a little ring a ding ding in the head, and all of a sudden they're fine and good to go. We send them back out there. We look them in the eyes. We say, "Can you see me?" They say yes, and we say, "Great." That's the only test they have.
40% of Romans 18 to 25 are still living with their parents. It's a real problem. It's a real
it's
problem.
a
They're not out starting families. They should have 6, 7 kids by now. They're 24 for God's sake.
it's a real problem. That's so funny. It's a real problem at this point. They just keep wandering around and taking money from their parents.
They keep saying there's no way to meet people, but we say there's plenty of ways. Just go out and ask a young lassie out for that. And they say it's hard to find a Vestal virgin these days.
Just go to the temple on the top of the hill. You'll find plenty of them up there.
Absolutely, but they're all. It's just not the
They're all
same.
whores. It's like,
I
it's really
saw
hard to
one of
find
them.
a
She was.
Vestal virgin. No, we
She's.
should we should
How many people have you hugged? 100. 100. Well, I can't be with a whore like you.
I can't be with a whore like you. But
Imagine
they
having
should
to
be
look my child in the eye and tell her mother hugged 100 men before she met her father.
there should be a whole scene where it's like born again Vestal virgins.
I actually talked to Aries and he said it is forgiven. I
He
have no,
said it's fine. And the 100 people that I hugged before you
I splashed some
don't
water of
count
Venus.
anymore.
I douched my coochie with some water of Venus, and so we're reset back to zero.
And so we're totally fine. So you don't need to tell your mom
Whatever.
anything about this.
What happened to your friend Timothy? Ugh, he found Zeus, and he's just not been the same.
He found Zeus. And
He
now
found
he's
Zeus.
dedicating. Now he is also, what's the opposite of a born again Vestal virgin? A born again,
I don't know.
what's a single man in the Roman Empire called?
Useless. I don't know.
A bachelor?
A bachelor, I guess. Yeah.
Born again Vestal virgins. They're like, I found Zeus. Okay. All is forgiven. And I have never touched a man. And he's
He
like,
said
okay, you're sold. Come with me, sir.
he said he's 16 and he's not ready to settle down yet.
I know. I just think that's so crazy. I
I'm
just think that's so crazy. I need to have children or else I'm gonna die in two
gonna
years.
die. Like I'm on the clock. I'm 15. I only have so
I
many good years before they burn me alive. I'm gonna get sacrificed if this doesn't like we need to figure this out. And he just keeps sending me letters being like, "What'd you do today? How are you?" And I'm just like, it's
he
so
invited me to a gladiator game and no one died. It was so boring.
he just had nothing to talk about the whole
He
time.
he just stood up and was cheering for both the guys.
He made
And I
me
was
pay
like,
for my ticket. He
ooh,
made me
that's a
pay
tough
for my
one.
ticket. He wouldn't even pay for both tickets. I was like, it's 5 coins.
It's 5 coins. How do you think I
Yeah.
make my money? I
Ugh.
whore out my body, but I'm a born again Vestal virgin, so it doesn't count. She's like, I work at a brothel, but every single morning I become a born again Vestal virgin.
I'm really a businesswoman when you think about it. I'm a business.
It's true.
And then the Roman young men would be like, yeah, all these girls are just getting rich running brothels. Like,
They just have these posters all over.
no one appreciates bricklayers anymore. I mean, I've been doing pottery. Am I making women? No, but this country can't run without, man.
All they want is just a really wealthy gladiator
They
or the Roman emperor.
they just want 6 feet, 6 inches, and 6 coins a year. Like, do I look like I make 6 coins a year? Do you know how many men in Rome make 6 coins a year?
Do you know how many men I had to hug to make 3 coins last year? It
A
was
lot.
too much. It
I
was too
actually
much.
I hire people to write letters back when they write me letters because I just don't have time to answer all of my
I just
DMs.
don't have time to answer what can be DM in Roman
It
Empire
would just be getting a
language.
letter. Like you got to
No, no, no,
scroll.
but what does DM stand for in Roman Empire?
Oh, it'd be DS direct scroll.
That's so funny. I have too many DSs.
I have
I
too
just have
many.
too many DSs.
I
And
have
it
to
like
hire
pans over to like a bucket with just like piled up with scrolls.
scroll, and there's a bunch of guys writing back salacious scrolls back to the guys.
Drawing a picture of a foot. Do you know how
tracing their
many pictures?
tracing their hand on the photo.
Like,
Drawing like two circles with dots in the middle.
I
Like
know, seriously.
they're mine.
Love. Wait, what would a woman's name back then be? Love Mathena. That's so
No,
funny.
that's not even. She didn't even love you, man.
Tracing a foot. Don't
You know, a girl I went to kindergarten with is doing a brothel now, doing under secret name. Yeah,
look her up.
don't look her up. Tell you what,
Google her name, you'll find it. But I'm telling you,
she had
you
so much
don't.
promise too. She had so much promise too. They were gonna send her to work with Play-Doh. Like she had her whole future in front of her,
She
and she
was
got
really
pregnant.
good at arithmetic.
She got pregnant, and the
She
guy
could
didn't
point
want
out
anything.
those bright stars in the sky every night.
The guy said, I don't want anything to do with this baby. This is not my baby. And it's just, yeah, she's been trying to get it together ever
She had
since.
to make her own money.
So just a real sad Roman story.
Oh, it's horrid. And then she
It's
worked at the,
absolutely awful.
and then she had to go work at the chocolate factory. What would Charlie and the Chocolate Factory be like if it was Roman Empire?
In Roman times. Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. Well, it would probably be wine or beer or something like that.
Or a
It would be like,
capsule of honey?
what was the garum? Like the sausages that they were making, where they would just like they take a little like pig skin, intestine skin, they just stick crap in it, and then they
Oh,
cook it, and like it's a sausage.
instead, they would just have a sausage factory.
What would it be Charlius Chocatus and the Sausage Factory? That would be the Roman equivalent.
It's Chocolate. They'd be like, he's the sausage boy.
Willis Wonkus.
In order to find the golden tickets, you have to like dig out the stuff in the sausage.
Through meat.
Did you find it? Did you
Did
find
you
the
find
golden ticket
the
in the
golden
sausage?
scroll?
It's just some like really poor person that was like, this was the only thing that I was planning on for dinner this week. Like this was the only thing.
I'll tell you what, son, you don't want to see how the sausage is made.
But you know what? Now that you do have that golden ticket, you get to come by and we'll give you as many free sausages as you would like.
One of the people, you and five other children, and then one of the girls eats it, and then she just it's like dies or something. Just like different color sausages. She eats a green one and turns all green.
You and five other children each get to go to the sausage factory. And the parents are like, this is such a great opportunity for you. You have to go and wear your best clothes
Wear your
and
best toga, son.
bring your grandfather, who
See
is
if you can borrow your
40.
grandfather's sandals for the occasion.
Your grandfather's 40. Bring him. He's close to the end of his life.
Oh my gosh.
You got to keep all this.
Oh, this is
This is good stuff. This is good stuff, I'm telling you.
this is what makes the money here. Oh my gosh. Well, you want to know that was over 2 hours we've done.
Oh, yeah, I know.
Over 2 hours.
We could probably talk for 4, but I won't make
We
us do
did.
that.
Well, we'll wrap it up there because I think that's an excellent place to wrap it up.
Okay.
All right. Thank you very much for coming on, and I look forward to the next time having you on.
I look forward to many more conversations in 1920s accents for you.
All right. Bye, everybody.